How to stop being a weird bitch. Honestly, it's like high key crazy that there's so many weird bitches out there that actually has to be a video for it. But I will say, anytime my friends, my family, co-workers, fuck, even customers that I engage with, and they be talking about like, is this bitch weird? What is going on? They come to me for advice because I am such a pro at figuring out who's a weird bitch from point one to point Z. So this video is to figure out, are you the weird bitch or are you a victim of a weird bitch? Disclaimer, ain't nobody a real victim here, but like at the same time, the thing is, even if you are dealing with one, you can always surpass that. It's not always about who's being the weirdest, it's about how we can move directionally. And it's just like and the gag is, even like this isn't even just entitled just for women. There's a lot of men who are also weird bitches too, but they just become like, you can just call them a motherfucker. And at the end of the day, like, you gotta kind of figure out in life, do you want to be moving like a weird bitch or a motherfucker? So pick your battle. So these are four ways to kind of classify who is a weird bitch, what makes a weird bitch. Obviously, there's so much, but it always comes down to these four things. First and foremost, they make no fucking sense. I would always say like the girls who are posting is mainly quotes. I always find it's like these weird quotes. It's everything that's very vague. It's very ambiguous. They sound like they're talking to one individual, but everything is posted on their public story, public post, whatever it may be. So it's very confusing. You're like, are they talking about me? What are they mad at? And then if you reach out to them, they'll also be even weirder and vaguer. Like one time, this girl was talking about like, I got no friends, everyone did me dirty, and I'm like, oh, I kind of classified us as friends, so I reached out. I'm like, hey, what's good? And then she said something like, oh, at the end all will be revealed of who are the truths. I'm like, no, I don't fucking do none of that. Like, fuck no. I think say what you mean what you say, but don't be mean. Like, if you're just being fucking confusing, anything that's confusing is weird energy. Because why are we trying to be confusing? Why don't you want to use clear communication? Why do you want to speak in riddles? Why do you want people thinking and pondering about what you're saying? Is that you're not Shakespeare? Like, what are you saying that is so profound that you need people to sit down and really be like, oh, is this really a situation? You gotta think about that. Another thing is too is being too nosy or nosy about things that don't fucking concern you. I kind of think it's like a lot of times it comes into the questions of how we engage for our daily discourse. Like, I remember one time one of my friends was saying that she was talking about a gift that her boyfriend was getting her. And this girl literally went to the point to research the gift and give her evaluated opinion of how she felt about the gift. That is classifying as weird behavior because who told you to do all this extra work? What did you feel compelled to do all of this and to say your opinion? Like, it's one thing to be interested. Like, if somebody was saying, like, oh, I got a Cartier bracelet, and be like, should my man be spending this much on me? Do I not do this much? Cool, fine. But don't go telling the other person that, like, oh, I researched the gift. That is weird behavior because a lot of the times also too, like, if someone's doing something weird to you or something weird is currently present in the situation, you have to stop and think, what were they hoping to gain from this? And if you're sitting around being confused, like, I really don't know what they could have wanted or desired from the situation or from me, that is another point for being a weird bitch. Also, too, always being around. Like, here's the thing. Sometimes we all just have overlapping lives. So sometimes it's just like, oh, we live in the same neighborhood, or it's like, let's say we know the same people, we have the same mutuals. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking more so like the days. I don't know who uses Snapchat. I personally don't use Snapchat, but like back in the day when you had like the map and you could see where all the people are, and then like you basically just show up because you know that person will be at that location. That's fucking weird. I used to have friends who would do stuff like this, and it's just because they felt awkward asking if they can be a part of the plan. That's odd. use your words, use your communication. Like, also let's keep in mind, like, yes, these things might have happened when we are like all teenagers, but I find adults even carry this on to their life, and it's very questionable. And it's again, it brings back, what were you hoping to gain from this conversation, from this situation? So it's fucking weird. Another thing is too, like, let's say if you don't have the person's location, but the person is saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna head up to this matcha spot, or I'm gonna be in this area, da 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 da. But you just so happen to serendipitously show up there to be like, hello, look at me. That is fucking weird, because I kind of look at it that is just like, you don't know what you were gonna see. You could have seen anything. This person can have a little BDSM thing on the side, and you're gonna go show up. No, book a time if you want to go be seeing somebody. And I think also too, being fucking rude to people who haven't done shit to you. I also look at it as having an attitude for no fucking reason. Like, it's almost like if someone says hey, and then you start stomping or harping on them. Like, I remember I dealt with this girl, she mocked me just because I said, hello, how's your day, in a very energetic way. I'm a boisterous girl. I say things loud. Do I think she was a demon? Fuck yes, but that's a different story. But like also too, I kind of find it's giving like very hater type of energy, especially you may have seen this in a friend group, or maybe in a co-worker group, or just in somewhere where a lot of personalities have to mesh and mingle. And then it's just like, let's say for example, somebody goes on, yeah, like an example of this, of like someone said, oh hey, like I'm so happy, I just spent 2 hours doing my makeup. Like, the common response would be like, okay, wow, good for you, or like, okay, that's cute, even if you liked it or didn't like it. Like, even if you didn't like it, you'd be like, okay, and you just move on. But if you were to go on and be like, oh yeah, that's, you know what, that's so great, you took that extra time because you were literally looking very disheveled last week, that is weird energy, because now you're looking for a fight. What did you expect? Like, if you're being mean, how do you expect someone not to fight back? Like, it's giving very weird energy. Like, I would always say too, if you feel like you're the weird bitch, or you also are kind of like like in the between, or like in the limbo, like I don't really know if I'm not. Listen, think about yourself like a Starbucks cup. Are you the drink that you want to be passed around? Like, for example, refreshers. Everybody loves a refresher, but like at the same time, is there shit in your cup? Like, are you acting shitty towards people? Are you just having a bad combination of vibes? Nobody wants to drink that. Nobody wants shit in their cup. So don't be the shit in your own cup. Like, lock in, clock in. Second part, symptoms of being a weird bitch. Let's say if you're like, okay, I think I'm a weird bitch, or let's say you're trying to diagnose the weird bitch in your life, because maybe you actually want to like put your 10 toes down and do something about it. This is how you know, like 100%. Like, it's even this person's character, this discourse. Like, how are they? What is their motion outside? I would say first and foremost, every weird bitch got a case of paranoia. This can be someone who thinks about monitoring spirits. This can be somebody who always thinks someone coming for them. This can always be somebody who's expecting a horrible day. But it's like at the same time, threats is valid. Like, let's say, for example, like, I don't want to invalidate someone who's maybe going through harassment or bullying or made something very serious. Obviously, get that, resolved, do your own. But like, I would kind of say, like, if you're constantly drawing lines to places that make no fucking sense, let's say someone's like, they hate flowers on water bottles, and then you're like, oh, I know she's trying to poison me because she thinks she's better than me. Like, where did we come from that from? Like, if someone said, hey, I don't like flowers on my water bottle, they're not really coming to harm you. Like, unless they were trying to say, hey, I'm poison a bitch who got flowers on their water bottle. Different cases, different scenarios, different result. Like, also too, is constantly fighting. Like, I also kind of look at it too, like, I would have to say, like, sometimes engaging on comments with stupid people can be very entertaining. Looking at comments can be very entertaining, but it's also very energy draining. And if you also kind of know people are having full on fights with people that they don't fucking know, that's a problem. Because why are you fighting with someone who ain't paying your bills, ain't making you hotter, ain't making you like more money, ain't making you more successful, more happier, more nothing? Like, you're just keep pouring and pouring and pouring in to some fucking rando, like Tweedledum 124 talking about why hot Cheetos are only eaten by sluts. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you gotta really figure out, like, pick and choose your battles. I also kind of find too, like, if you're fighting with people from dating apps, like for no reason, you're like rah rah rah, like no, like at the same time, keep it moving. Like I like genuinely, like I come from a place of someone who's done DBT, someone who does, get riled up sometimes, but like you can't be fighting every single next bitch who's coming beside you. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's just like, it's just nothing giving weird when you're constantly discoursing with people who are not good in the head. Because why fight with someone who's not good in the head? They don't have enough sense to know that they're not good in the head. Like, like I just kind of think also too that it's just like also too it's like a martyr complex. I kind of think it's just like if you feel like everyone's always coming out to get you, everyone's ruining your life, it's just like what Netflix series are we a part of? Like truly, like why is everyone coming to ruin your fucking life if you're not Donald Trump? Like you're not like somebody actually like being controversial or actually like ruining a group of people's lives because of your influence or your power or whatever like whatever your business is. So it's like you gotta kind of sit around and think about that. I think it's just like also too when you gotta be like I'm such a natural girl or I'm a good woman or I'm a good guy or it's just like I'm an empath. And I know, like, honestly, like, it's a really tough pill to swallow because you're like, okay, I'm trying to come through good intentions, la, 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 la. But, like, at the same time, it's just like, it comes to a point where it's just like, everyone is trying to, like, why will everyone try to get you if you're so fucking great? Like, if you kind of find that you're always like the center or the pinnacle of drama and nonsense and it always is following you, like you got to really ask yourself, what am I adding to this? Am I adding maybe one too many conversations? Am I adding too many actions? Maybe I'm saying shit that doesn't make sense, or maybe I'm trying to be controversial here. Maybe I don't have a point. Like you got to really kind of connect the dots and be like, why are so many people trying to fight me? Because here's the thing, it's just like it's almost like the good Starbucks drink. Like we ain't trying to throw that away. We're not trying to pour that out. We're not trying to poison. We're not trying to do destruction to it. All we're trying to do is just drink it and have a good time. So you got to kind of ask yourself these things. A wise person once told me, and also that was myself, but it's just like if you do weird shit will follow you. And also another thing a wise person told me that also wasn't me, shocker, is weirdness begets weirdness. So it's like if you're doing weird shit will follow you. So sometimes you kind of have to also kind of make like a pros and cons or make like a side to side comparison because you gotta really figure out like is karma gonna follow me tenfold? Is my weirdness gonna follow me tenfold? And you gotta also kind of think of the actions you're doing to other people. And also too, after watching this, you maybe kind of be like, am I the weird bitch or is the weird bitch being the weird bitch? And this is how you can like kind of know. I come with compassion because I kind of feel like as much as a weird bitch pisses me off, I think you should also have humility that we're all a weird bitch in someone's circle, like in someone's story, like, even pre healing, after healing, whatever. Like sometimes certain people get the better of us, our triggers, you know, different things kind of come for us and maybe bring out our own weirdness. And that's also like great to like if you are someone who's a weird bitch or you feel like, hey, I'm actually acting weird lately. Like here's the thing, there's only so many steps from having like weirdness strikes until become a weird bitch yourself. So I kind of like look at it when you feel like you kind of hit a strike in your like weirdness to kind of like evaluate and be like, okay, who do I need to cut off? What kind of detox do I need to do? Who should I be praying to now to pray the weirdness away? You know? I think a lot of times too, 10 out of 10, 1,000% of the time, it's always about how you're left feeling in these conversations. If you are left more confused than angry, chances are you're not the weird bitch. And this is what I mean by this. Weird bitches can piss us off. But if you're kind of like, why is she doing this? Who is this for? I don't understand. What was she hoping to get? I don't like, where did this come from? Like, if you're pondering so many questions, you can still be, yes, angry about it. But if you have more questions than answers, chances are you're not the one be getting a weirdness. You're usually the one where it's kind of happening to you. However, if you're more like, I'm gonna get this person because they said this, and I'm gonna do this so they can feel this, so they can feel my wrath. You have more direct primary anger. You're coming from a place of anger. So that's why you feel like your weirdness is valid because you're like, I'm doing my weirdness because of la 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 la. And that's not really translating a lot of people because again, nobody's a fucking mind reader. One time I was completely dumbfounded by this girl because I was using my peripheral vision. I kept looking back, but I was also looking at her. But also, too, I really couldn't figure out where the fuck I was trying to go because I was kind of like 10 places at once. This girl accused me of looking up her up and down and giving her a weird look. And I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about because I'm trying to look everywhere around. Like, you're really not a part of my mind right now. And she tried to confront me and get upset about it. That is weird energy. Is she a weird bitch? Maybe. Like, I'm actually still kind of 50-50, like how I feel about her with that. But like, I even fully told her, I'm like, no hate, mama. So like, I'm like, no hate. Like, I really wasn't thinking about you. And that's also a good way on how you can calm a weird bitch or kind of bring down a weird bitch intensity, especially if you kind of feel like this person can be a friend. Maybe this is just someone you just want to live well with, or also too in general. Like, why do you want to have ops in this life? Like, life is too short and too beautiful to be fighting with every single next bitch. We can all be fucking friends. I think another thing is too is that it's just like if people can talk to you straight, like if you feel like people can't tell you directness, like people are always feeling awky around you, they're walking around eggshells, they can never just say like, "Hey, I feel this way about this," or la 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 la. And they're gonna be like, maybe, yeah, like, it's like, for example, like whenever it's like a psycho in the movie and everyone's talking and be like, yeah, how are we feeling? And you kind of feel like they're talking to like a dumb person. They're like, okay, let's simplify the fuck out of this. And you're trying to like put on your nicest voice and you're trying to do up your posture. That like usually people are doing that to you, that's because they think you're a weird bitch. So I think also too, if you kind of feel like it's a whole misunderstanding, this is a great time to be like, oh, this is what this is. And I think it's like also too, it kind of comes out to your attitude as a person. Like if you're someone who's like more avoidant or you're trying to avoid somebody, typically you're not trying to find that confrontation. Weird bitches always fucking want confrontation because they're always trying to get even. They're always trying to one up somebody. It also comes from codependency. I find a lot of codependent people are weird bitches because they're always trying to rely on somebody else for their moods, rely on somebody else how they're supposed to feel. Like everything is always feeling like so heated. Like everyone's a ride or die that left them. Why is everyone your ride or die? How many people are dying for you? Like, are you Jesus? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, what? Like, a lot of times you kind of have to look at the character of the person because sometimes being a weird bitch is kind of embedded into their character. If you are a victim of a weird bitch, yeah, sometimes you need to block. Like honestly, like especially if you don't have to see them, you can really choose if you see this person. Yeah, block. Who cares? Move on and live your life. Like weird bitches also have burner accounts. Weird bitches, if you kind of find they're so ingrained into your life and you feel like, oh, they know where I live, they can kind of come around. And especially if you're kind of awkward with boundaries, they let kids with tantrums cry. Sometimes you have to let a weird bitch just do their nonsense. Just let them. Because a lot of the times too, when you're not giving them a reaction, they have nothing to go with. So everyone's gonna see them plotting and doing this weirdness, or they're gonna keep on finding allies because again, they meet a lot more ride or dies. So then that way everyone can see, like, wow, this bitch is really fucking weird and crazy. And you don't want to be a weird and crazy bitch. Even though a lot of times they kind of co-link. But sometimes I kind of feel like a crazy bitch sometimes. Kind of like Mallory from Beauty and Black. Yeah, she's a crazy bitch, but she's valid because her man is trash. But that's another story. If you're also talking to weird bitches and you're forced to talk to them, I kind of think, especially, it's having clear but also vague responses. Like, for example, if someone says, how's it going? Let's say you don't really want to fucking talk to them. I kind of be like, not bad. I got my 10K steps in and I got to enjoy my snack that I made from home. That is so much better than saying nothing much, you, because more vague you are, this weird bitch is gonna be like, huh, what is that? But like if we're kind of saying things that are pretty common, we can kind of have a clear story. A lot of these weird bitches want to find ways to get one of y'all. So I kind of feel like if you're kind of giving them like these blanket statements, there's not much for them to use, but they also have the answers that they're looking for. Because a lot of times when they're codependent, a lot of times they're dealing with things that are more of an anxious level, and they're trying to gather a lot of clues and a lot of intel. And having more vague intel also kind of gets it done, makes the life easier, and at the same time, like less shit towards you. You know what I'm saying? If you are the weird bitch, honestly, I think just get help. Sometimes just prove it to yourself. Kind of look at it. What do you gain from being a weird bitch? Like nobody fucking likes y'all. Like y'all really cause the stress to everyone's day. You probably cause the stress to your own day, and it's also not healthy. Like at the same time, like I do think like if you are a weird bitch, sometimes it's really just kind of facing yourself in the mirror, having a good cry, maybe a smoke, a snack, and just really being real with yourself. You don't always need to have friends to get you through every point of the way. Sometimes you just need yourself and to have a good like mindset or a desire and willing to have a good mindset. That's just like as somebody, like if you feel like you always need to be proving right, or you kind of feel like you need to have a superior intelligence or whatever you're doing, like you kind of have to look at it. What is the purpose of this? Even brain rot has a purpose. Brain rot is supposed to make us entertained and something to scroll on the app. But if you're looking at like what you're doing isn't getting the results that you want, and it's also nonsensical, you have to look at like really what is the point of this? Like, are you really trying to get superiority or power, validation, maybe some reassurance, or maybe it's the feeling of being understood? Explore those feelings and really kind of tackle them on head on. Sometimes it's like, not even apologizing to people, just quietly exiting, be like, yeah, I was the weirdo, whoop, and then, just carry on. Honestly, everyone else will thank you so much for it. It's just like once you try to figure out what you're trying to feel, it allows you to kind of figure out what you need from yourself instead of worrying about what you need from other people. If the first step to weird bitch rehabilitation is stop oversharing. Y'all bitches, again, it's almost like posting with all these goddamn quotes. Like y'all be just doing too much and oversharing. Because a lot of y'all be craving relationships, but you're too lazy to build them. So it's just kind of like, why would some random person who don't know you just so invested into all the intricacies or the traumas of your life? I think a lot of times take responsibility if you're this weird bitch. Acknowledge yourself. And like I said, quietly exit and go. Sometimes faking a smile will actually do a shot. So just saying a simple good for you instead of acting up is much better than doing some weirdness. And then I think before acting in weirdness, just stop. Mindfully breathe. Breathe in slowly and actually be like, listen, I'm not gonna stoop down and become a weird bitch. Because again, why do I need to do that? Like sometimes you don't really need to act on your impulses, people. And I think also do ditch your weird bitch friends. I always think the weird bitches do need community is because sometimes they are really lonely, they are anxious, they really just be craving a lot of genuine emotions that we all feel. But I kind of feel like when you weird bitches get together, a lot of y'all just encourage more weirdness or you validate each other's weird bitchness. And I just think it's like this weird parasocial relationship. It is not healthy for either one of y'all. So a lot of times I think you guys should just ride this shit solo. Growing complacent. I just kind of feel like at this time, ride solo, get a vibrator, because I feel like y'all just really be lonely and stressed as fuck, and not to overwhelm others. Like I know y'all want the fame so bad, but nobody can really handle y'all right now. And we're all grown sometimes. So be an adult, take the time, and eat, pray, love. So it is dark out here. It's death giving vacation nights, and I look crinkly and static as fuck. It is giving 90s video. But anywho, if this video resonated, helped in any way, give it a thumbs up, and maybe comment below how to best solve your weird bitch problems. Toodles.